Just wondering, without Schroeder in the rotation and without AD, just how do you get the playmaking and where do you want that to come from aside from LeBron?
Well, we're a team first team. Obviously Bron, handles the bulk of the playmaking, whoever's out there. But we have plenty of action, plenty of sets and actions to get our guys in to create offense. And everybody's empowered a little bit more when we have somebody like Anthony out and we have somebody like Dennis out.
And Frank, you went to Quinn Cook for some minutes. Do you like the potential of some screen roll with him and Montrez, or are there any particular actions you see that he could come and help you in this kind of a spot in?
Yeah, Quinn can definitely help us offensively for sure. He can handle in pick and rolls. He can also be a screen and pop guy with LeBron, a second size spacer, and definitely have confidence in Quinn.
And then Frank, just what are your top line memories of this series against Miami? How much have things evolved and changed with what the personnel is, what the roster is ahead of today's game?
Yeah, obviously I'm very familiar, having just played them in the finals. Familiar with the Miami Heat. When we played them last, they were executing and their offensive rating was a lot more efficient than it has been so far this year, but they've been battling injuries, a lot of guys out, off to a slow start. But we know with a big game like this, a rematch of the finals, they're going to be playing at their highest level, and our defense is going to have to be really locked in to slow them down.
Kyle?
Is there any information you can give us that on Dennis's absence, either what the nature of it is or what hurdles he might have to clear to come back or what timeline he might come back?
Yeah, the only thing I can tell you is health and safety protocols, and we do have a more firm timeline that it'll be a minimum of the next 3 games, tonight's game and the next 2. And, we'll see after that.
Bill?
Hey, Frank, this is going to be kind of a multi-parter, so stick with me. But you've had the luxury, obviously, with Anthony and LeBron of having a first-team All-NBA player on the floor for all 48 minutes, and that's mostly how you've structured your rotations. Now that you are going to probably have 15 minutes a night, for the foreseeable future without one of those guys on the floor, what do you want to get out of those non-LeBron lineups, and how confident are you that you know what that lineup should look like? And then, because of what you just said about Dennis, how much harder is it to kind of find the right mix without Dennis? Because you did stagger him and LeBron in the Minnesota game.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but we have plenty of depth to get the job done. And we just have to be a lot more organized than we've been in those situations throughout the year where Bron and Anthony are both out. There hasn't been a ton of those. But Anthony has missed some games earlier in the season when we had the same type of thing, about 15 minutes a night. And, we've had some success with those lineups, but certainly we weren't good the other night. And it was a big focal point of yesterday's practice, today's walkthrough, of just being more organized in those situations. We have plenty of firepower to get the job done.
Dave?
Frank, I don't think he's making the trip with the team, but how much did Avery Bradley help you establish the defensive identity of the Los Angeles Lakers from the time you took over as head coach last year?
He was pivotal. Obviously was a starter for us day one, set the tone for our defense on each possession by picking up full court and dogging the guy, bringing the ball up the court. And that tenacity, always carries over on that possession. But just to have somebody like that in those early practices of training camp last year, definitely set a tone for what we were able to do. And just acquiring him, send a message that, this is something that, we were going to go out and get elite defenders, that could really carry a load on that side of the ball and set a tone for us, So Avery definitely deserves a lot of credit for that.
Dan?
Sorry, Frank. Are there things that you guys well, 2 questions, I guess. Any changes to the starting lineup tonight? And then secondly, what are the challenges a guy like Bam is gonna place against you, considering kind of the personnel limitations you have with no AD?
Yeah, Bam's one of the toughest guys in the league to guard, so whether we have Anthony Davis or not, it creates a lot of challenges and, his abilities to beat you off the bounce and to play make from the top of the key, make it really challenging to slow down guys like Butler and Hero and Robinson and their shooters coming off. Because if you overcommit, Bam's keeping the basketball and dribble handoffs and going to the rim or beating you off the bounce or rolling and playing the 4-on-3 game, which he's as good as anybody in the league. So, he's an all-star for a reason. He's one of the toughest guys in the league to guard, but, hopefully our guys are up to the challenge.
A few more, BT.
Frank, have you thought much about how you want to stagger LeBron's minutes going forward? And is there one player you feel most comfortable with running the offense when he's out of the game?
We have multiple guys and we can organize our offense and, other guys that we can play through. Certain guys will get us organized and certain guys we can play through. And, in terms of, his minutes, I like to try to keep about where they were even when Anthony was playing. We want to be responsible with not overdoing it. Even with the mindset that how long he's out there at once is probably more of a priority than the totality of his minutes by the end of the night. And, we just want to be responsible with that. And in doing so, continue to win games.
Jovan?
Hey, Frank, to piggyback off of the last couple of questions, you guys have a negative net rating when LeBron is off the floor the past 2 seasons in the regular season. Obviously, you're going to be worse with him off the floor, but why do you think the non-LeBron lineups have struggled even when AD's been on the floor? And have you identified ways to try to be effective without him or any trends from those minutes?
Yeah, we had a strong start this season with LeBron off the floor. And it's tailed off a little bit of late because, our whole team is sort of tailed off with our perimeter shooting of late. But we have plenty of firepower to get the job done. I mean, Bron, he commands the ball and obviously, runs the show when he's out there. So, there's a natural void when he's not. But, just one of those things that we have to be mindful of, making sure that we're organized and, giving a plan to those guys that are in there. Because like I said, we have plenty of firepower to win those minutes, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And, that's what our intentions are to do.
Last question, Melissa.
Frank, how unique and impressive, I guess, is it that LeBron is able to tweak and tailor his game each year to exactly what the team needs?
He's the best ever. The simplest way to put it, to see him continue to grow his game, year 18 in the league, just a testament to his greatness and obviously a big reason why we're having success this year.
All set, Frank. Thank you.